Elana Afrika Burdenkamp is joining me in studio. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
No time at all. It's good to be here.
Well, we want to talk first about Road to Miss SA. That's a very exciting venture for you. What's it like hosting that show?
So most of the stuff I get to host is on request. So people call me up and they go, do you want to host it? Luckily for most of my projects that I do, I don't have to audition, which makes things easier. Yeah. And the only reason it's exciting is because I'm at a place in my life where I go, do I want to do something that actually makes a real difference? And even though most people go, well, it's a pageant. Yeah. You know, how can Miss SA or even the Road to Miss South Africa be anything that can change the world? I realize that whoever is in that position of being Miss South Africa is in a position where she's of influence. And there's a lot that she can do for South Africa and also for our youth. And when I look at where the Miss South Africas over the years have gone and what they've been able to do through something as silly or as simple as a pageant, I realized that their change was quite enormous. Yeah. So it's very exciting to see a whole group of young women representing in a pageant, and I'm encouraged by the fact that they are youngsters learning to be doctors, and some of them are singers, and some of them are doing their law degree. So it's not your average type of young girl that has entered or even that has reached the top 12. It's exciting for me because I get to hold the hand as a host, not as a judge, and I get to work with young women who's going to change South Africa, hopefully in the next year and beyond.
The finalists were announced earlier this month. What kind of challenges can we expect?
So unlike a normal Miss South Africa, they call it the Road to Miss South Africa, which is a reality show. And within the actual competition, these girls go through challenges. A lot of people go, oh, well, is the challenge going to determine who the next Miss South Africa is? And I go, well, not necessarily, but we often find then any of us, when we go through some kind of challenge or when we are pressured in a situation, our real personality surfaces. So if you have put on a front up until the second episode, hopefully we'll know who the real you are by either the third or fourth episode. So the challenges we've given them are things which is part of a beauty boot camp. Okay. So they either go through a challenge where they have to try and put on makeup while in a very busy vehicle, busy watching animals, or there was an amazing one where the girls get to do a dance-off with an amazing choreographer in South Africa teaching them all the moves, and then later on the night I announced the actual dance-off that they have to be part of. They also have a challenge of being school teachers where they literally go into a room and they have to work with children. And it's interesting to see how they interact and also how they fare during all these challenges. So I guess the challenges is a fun aspect of the show. It's also what makes it the reality show. And unlike a normal pageant for the first year, it's now a reality show with challenges. So we get to see the real girls and may the real Miss South Africa hopefully stand up after that.
If you had to compete in these challenges, which one do you think you would kill or win?
None of them, because I'm not a contestant. I'm also a lot older than them. So I don't know. That I must say in one of the challenges, in Afrikaans we'd say, ek moet bieg, I have to confess. In one of the challenges, I did take part in one of them, and it was the dance-off challenge. And I said to them, just let me try, just let me try. And a lot of the girls are in very, very short hot pants in silver and glitter, and I settled for longer pants. But I did the dance-off challenge with them, and it takes a lot of energy. It does. And after that, you're tired. You're ook moeg, you know. It's really hard work. But I'm sure they'll be fine, you know. It's something that they really want. It's a title, and hopefully the one with the title can change the world. It can do a lot of change. You know?
Okay, did you ever think you'd be hosting a reality TV show? Was it something you always wanted to do, or?
Strange enough, when I was younger, I always hoped to enter Miss SA.
Really?
But not... I think I was too young, you know. I think my mind was never there. So it's interesting how I eventually got to work with the actual pageant. Did I ever think that I would host it? I've hosted many shows that involves reality. I just never thought I'd host Miss South Africa. What I like about my job is that a lot of the projects that I do gets to make change. So when I'm on the radio, I get to speak about projects that either feed people or that changes the circumstances of young people. Most of the grown-up shows that I've done are shows where I get to work with people where I literally change their lives, where they win an enormous amount of money or they win something for good, or we change their lives for good. So it's exciting being part of Miss South Africa. I think up until now, there hasn't been many challenges for myself. It's not hard to present it or different to what I've normally done, but it's different working with what I would imagine young girls, but they're also youth. So I'm working with the youth, and that for me is exciting.